Yes, please.
Thanks, sir. In the book Gardens of the Righteous, Nawas ibn Saman
Yes.
relates that the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned the signs of the last day and of the Antichrist. And in it I'd like to just quote one sentence. Allah the Exalted will raise the Messiah, son of Mary, who will arrive close to a white minaret in the east of Damascus, wearing 2 saffron-coloured garments, his hands resting on the wings of 2 angels. End of the sentence. Now, if this sentence is purely symbolic, why did the promised Messiah, alayhi salatu wasalam, have a white minaret built?
First of all, it is not properly translated. It is never said that close to the minaret. In the Minaret al-Bayda are the words, and some have translated upon that manara, or some have translated close to that manara. But upon translation is wrong anyway, because it can only be right if the whole sentence is translated differently. In the Minaret Sharqiyya Damashq, 2 things are said. In the manara, upon or close to the manara, and east of Damascus. So some translate it as east of Damascus relating to manara. So which means that the manara will be situated east of Damascus. And those who translate Inda as close to Manara, they say he would be close to Manara on the eastern side, but not on the Manara. But the problem is that if you translate it like that, not upon the Manara, then there are other traditions which lose relevance at all altogether, because all the ulama, if not all, a large number of ulama believe that in other ahadith which are related to the subject, the scenario which is built is this, that the Messiah would descend upon the Manara, not around or near the Manara. So if that is so, then the Manara has to be in the east, and there is no word indicating its nearness to Damascus. Then all that is said is it would be in the east of Damascus. How much east is not related there. The second proof they offer of this interpretation being correct is that it is also said that the Masih, when he descends upon the Manara will be without a staircase, and that Manara where he would descend, having no staircase, it will require ulama to run towards the Manara with their stairs or ladders, and for the Messiah to descend from those ladders. Now, first of all, if you contemplate on this, it becomes obviously that it cannot be taken literally. It's impossible to take this prediction literally, because the Messiah who descends resting his hands on the two angels from the 4th heaven is deposited there so close to earth and he can't jump down, and the angels desert him and return to heaven without depositing him upon the earth. So he rests for the ulama. This positively proves that all the message is symbolic, and the symbolism used here has been explained by Hazrat Masih Maud al-Islam. He says the minaret is a thing which is seen from far and wide. The taller the minaret is, the more it will be observed from a distance. Yes. So this shows that the Messiah would come, but he will not disappear to insignificance when he comes to the world. It will be the Manara, depositing on the Manara means his descent from heaven will not be observed, because people who come from God, their descent from heaven is never observed. But they are made to be known the world over, if Allah so desires. And the whiteness is a symbol of powerful arguments and truth. So he'll come stationed on truth,
Yes.
and powerful, luminous arguments, and his message would reach far and wide. This would happen in east of Damascus. You see?
Yes.
Now, if you study geographically, Qadian happens to be exactly on the east of Damascus. So Hazrat Masih Maud ﷺ did not build the Manara to the finish during his lifetime. So there was no attempt by him to deceive the public, because he wrote a book on this subject and he knew better than any of the ulama that the Manara was not literal. But he said sometimes legends and stories and things develop around realities. Sometimes realities are built to indicate symbols.
Yes.
And to memorize the symbolic messages. Like for instance, in the case of Ashabul Kahf, the people of the cave, when they came out of it and when the whole situation was transformed, it was discussed what would be the symbol for their great sacrifices. Now that symbol was, although metaphoric, but it was given a material shape of a minaret or a mosque. So after the discussion they said, let's build a mosque. Now there was no mosque before to indicate that that would be built on the mouth of the caves of the righteous people. But mosque was built later on to indicate that it was here that God-fearing believers in the unity of God, people who were persecuted and prosecuted on the surface of earth, who had to seek shelter into the caves, under the caves. When they came out here, they emerged here. And from then on, their life was transformed upon earth, and then they spread the message far and wide. A mosque became the symbol. So Hazrat Masih Maud ﷺ did not begin the building of minaret. He only began to prove that this is the minaret on whom he had descended, or by whom he had descended. Not at all. What he said was that he has come on that minaret of significance. I mean, on that minaret, the significance of which he had described. So to create a material symbol of this event, he has decided to build a white minaret.
I see.
See?
This is what I was having trouble with, because I've understood from previous sermons that you've given, the two saffron garments were related to the two illnesses, and I knew that he didn't literally wear them, so I was having trouble with this.
Quite right. Now you know this. He has explained it in detail, in depth, the significance and the material part of building the minaret. Why? So, and again, you know, as I told you, the minaret was started in his lifetime, but it was completed much later. In the lifetime of Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Awwal.
The second.
The second. Completed?
Yes.
In which year?
1915.
In 1915, that's right, yes. Because in 1914, Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Awwal, the first caliph, died.
Yes.
So it must have been completed in 15.
Yes.
Right. Or 16? Maybe?
15. Started in 1903.
Okay.
Thank you.
Please.